boundaries to avoid distractions, similar to prioritizing time with God. Practicing regular digital breaks. That's something that's almost non-existent, again, for our generation, unfortunately. I don't think any of us take a digital break from social media unless we are going through a midlife crisis. Then that's when we turn off our phones or delete Instagram for a couple of days, but we need to kind of schedule those breaks regularly. And promoting kindness online, right? So cyberbullying, and not even just cyberbullying, but sometimes, you know, people leave rude comments on things, or even if they say it as a joke, it's not Christ-like behavior. The second thing that I wanted to mention is guarding our hearts, right? That's very important. So Proverbs 4:23 says, "Keep your heart with diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life." So are we guarding our heart when it comes to social media? Are we letting everything that we consume affect us and plant that seed of doubt in our thoughts and emotions? What you need to do is evaluate your content, right? Does it align with your goals? Is it impacting your emotions and therefore reflecting in your behaviors? And avoid being desensitized. And that's very important because a lot of times we see things in our timeline that can reflect sin or can show how other people are living their lives, and that's not a representation of who you are. So try not to get desensitized by what you're seeing on social media. Intentional sharing. So are you sharing to uplift others, or are you being a witness to sin? Because again, the things that we share and post, you are literally being a witness to whatever you're seeing online. And again, setting boundaries, I say that again because it's a very important point. Be mindful of what's consuming your attention. Be salt and light. So Matthew 5:14-16. Can someone read that? It's just a little too long. Someone give it a shot. Is it hard to read? If it's hard to read, I'll just do it. All right, I'll do it. It's okay. All right, so it says, "You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand. And it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." So how can we be a light on social media, right? How are we reflecting God's love and God's word on social media? The answer is very, very simple, and it's modeling Christ-like behavior and in all of our interactions online. This includes being respectful, being truthful, and using our platform to uplift others, to find God, to point them to God. So social media traps to watch out for, right? So a big one that I found that all of us struggle with is comparison, right? A lot of times we sit there, we look at our profile, we look at our lives, and we try to compare it with everyone else's timeline. And that's kind of where it all spirals. So social media often leads to unhealthy comparison, and we measure ourselves against others' curated lives, leading to jealousy and insecurity, unfortunately. So platforms can be full of negativity, gossip, and anger, and as Christians, we're called to speak life, speak truth. It can easily become an addiction, checking how many likes, comments, or views you got. This can lead to neglecting your time with God. And like we mentioned before, the echo chambers, which is basically the algorithm giving you whatever you want to hear. Using social media to glorify God, so sharing your faith, sharing a Bible verse, sharing an inspirational message to encourage others, building your community. Are you following the right groups? Are you involved in any kind of group chats that are promoting the Christ-like behavior and encouraging others to spread that same positivity? This is the practical, I hope you guys can see them. And I put them in a calendar just so you can maybe have a goal for each month. Because if we're gonna say, you know what, starting tomorrow, I'm gonna do all 12 things, we are lying to ourselves. So maybe each month or set a goal for yourself, every 2 weeks you're working on something different. So limit your screen time, think before you post, follow uplifting accounts, using social media for accountability, engaging with kindness, avoiding negative posts, be a peacemaker. Don't overshare, right? That's a big one. Yeah, October, we're in October. That's good enough for today. Don't overshare. A lot of people post too often on social media, like every 2 hours, here's an update of what I'm doing in my life. Oh, now I'm in the car, now I'm eating, now I'm driving to work. That's really not, that's distracting you. And you might not realize it, but like, it adds up. Time adds up. That's 2 minutes that you just wasted times 50. It gets crazy. So we're going to end with a very cute interactive activity that I hope you guys like. What we're going to do is, I know this is not like, church-like, but pull out your phones, okay? Pull out your social media accounts, whether it's Facebook for the older generation, or whether it's Instagram for the rest of us. She's like, how Enrique? But look at your social media accounts, right? Look at your page. Does your page reflect Christ-like behavior? Is there anything in there that you think, maybe shouldn't have posted that, or maybe I should add a sprinkle into my bio that says something about my faith, or maybe that picture wasn't appropriate, or maybe that comment wasn't appropriate. So sometimes evaluating your own page before critiquing someone else's, that's also an important move. So the challenge here is to write down things that you think you should change about your social media, and you don't have to share, but make note of it, right? And I hope you go home and change it, right? Hope so. So we're gonna end with this verse. Whatever you do, in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him, right? So just remember that social media is a tool. It can be used for good or bad, depending on how you choose to engage with it. And be intentional about using your online presence to reflect your faith and stay connected to God. And thank you for listening. Oh, questions, yeah, of course.
Do I have a question?
Why? Why do you? Go ahead. Oh, thank you. Okay, that's it. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you. Great job.
I tried.
Great job.
Thank you.
You heard the English lecture. Now it's the time for the Arabic lecture. Yes, المفروض يقول high school meeting. Yes.
نكمل معايا ونتفق. مساء الخير. عاملين ايه؟ بير. هو طبعا بعد البرزنتيشن اللي عملته كرمينا، نسيت اسمها الحمد لله. يعني هيبقى البرزنتيشن بتاعي يعني مفيش مقارنه خالص، بس هو حاجه مهمه. يعني احنا بنكمل نقوم ونبني اللي هو الاسبوع اللي فات، الثلاث اسابيع اللي فاتت كنا عاملين زي سلسله بتساعدنا ان احنا لو عايزين نترجم عربي شويه عربي انجليزي I can do that، يعني it's up to you. بتساعدنا ان احنا ازاي نبقى ناجحين في الشغل بتاعنا وازاي نبقى ناجحين في حياتنا العمليه. فالنهارده احنا هنتكلم على 8 نقط اعتقد ان هم مهمين لكل واحد فينا في الشغل بتاعه، ومهمين برضو في حياته لو انت عايز او انت عايزه تبقى ناجحه في اي هدف معين. انا اخترت في كاتب، وهو كاتب وبرضو يعني متحدث اسمه جيم رون. خدت 8. حد يعرفه؟ حد يعرف جيم رون؟ تعرف كرمينا الحمد لله. حد تاني يعرف جيم رون؟ استاذ محب، اشكرك يا رب. انا قلت 2. اوكي، هو ده من الشخصيات الناجحه جدا، بزنس مان. برضه هو بيامن برضه بالكتاب المقدس، بس هو بزنس مان كبير قوي. هو ابتدى من هو صغير برضه، وابتدى من الصفر، بس يعني هو عنده فلسفه كويسه. حلو ان انتوا تقروا او تسمعوا الراجل ده هو بيتكلم في ايه. it's really very helpful. يعني هو موجود على اليوتيوب، في كتير قوي ليه ليكتشرز على اليوتيوب، شورت يوتيوب، وفي يعني maybe like 1 hour lecture. so لو انتوا عندكم تايم وانتوا بتسوقوا العربيه وانتوا رايحين حته ممكن تسمعوا الليكتشرز بتاعته. فاحنا النهارده برين ستورم، فاخترت مثلا 8. مش عامل برزنتيشن ولا حاجه، حطيت 8 نقط المهمه. a key for success for us, right? How to be successful person, or what's your strategy? It's strategy that can help you to be successful for any mission you try to do, right? ممكن استاذ محب اوكي. طيب هو احنا يعني هو على بال ما ممكن يغيرها. ابونا اتكلم على سيلف ديسيبلين. دي حاجه مهمه جدا في تبقى سكسس. لو نبص للناس اللي في السبورت، وناس بتلعب بينج هنا وفي ناس بتحب تلعب كوره. الناس اللي ناجحه في الكوره عمرهم ما يبقوا ناجحين في الكوره الا لما يكون عندهم سيلف ديسيبلين. لهم بروجرام، لازم يصحى الصبح ويلعب كوره بال4 ساعات اتليست في اليوم. فاحنا ممكن نبص الحاجه البوزيتيف مثلا للسبورت بلاير، لعيبه الكوره، ازاي ان هم فيري ديسيبلين. يعني انا بنتي بتلعب جيمناستيك، بتلعب 3 ساعات 6 ساعات في الاسبوع، اكتر من هي المذاكره بتاعتها. حاجه هي بتحبها، وعشان كده هي ناجحه فيها. واعتقد ان احنا اي حاجه احنا بنحبها واستمرينا في يعني في سيلف ديسيبلين. يعني لو انا عايز ابقى انجينير، احط ساعات معينه كتير ان انا اذاكر حاجه تبع الهندسه. لو انا عايز ابقى ليدر I have to study leadership. اوكي، هنبتدي ب8 نقط عشان ما نبقاش احنا عارفين هنبتدي منين وهننتهي فين. احنا هنبتدي البدايه بتاعتنا ان احنا هنتكلم ازاي ان احنا كبيرسونال نستحمل المسؤوليه بتاعت الاكشن بتاعتنا. كل واحد فينا يحب يبقى ناجح، ده بقى دي النهايه. يعني احنا في النهايه يعني كل واحد مره فينا نجح في امتحان وقال سمع كلمه نجحت في الامتحان، right? How you feel يعني when you get to you pass the exam, how you feel, right? It's good, right? بعد كل الشغل والprepare it's really a good feeling, right? So that's the result for our lecture. Just I want to make sure everybody have this successful goal when you already pass, like all those step by step to pass that exam. So to get there we're gonna have أول حاجة المسؤولية الشخصية، ضبط النفس، التعليم المستمر، المثابرة، تحديد الأهداف، الصحبة، يعني أصحابك اللي حواليك، الانفايرمنت اللي أنت بتبقى فيه، أخلاقيات العمل والعمل الجاد. آخر حاجة اللي هو الاستقلالية. مش هتبقى ناجح غير لما تبقى مستقل ماديا. يعني ما يبقاش أنت like a lot of debt and you say like you're a successful businessman. I don't think this is a good idea يعني. personal responsibility, self-discipline, continuous learning, law of average, goal setting, association, like friend and family, work ethics and action, and financial independence, right? Okay. 8 نقط. أول نقطة نبتديها المسؤولية الشخصية. كل واحد فينا دلوقتي المستوى اللي هو فيه في الشغل أو في الحياة الروحية ده كان نتيجة عن قرارات احنا خدناها. فلازم ان احنا we have to admit just whatever decision I made, whatever action I made, what bring me here, what make Athanasius, right? Same thing with David, same thing with Rami. It's collective actions that you make that bring you here right now, where you are right now. So you have to admit it. It's nothing about the family. Don't blame your family. Don't blame your neighbor. Don't blame your friend. You have to admit it. That's what you did through your life that bring you at this moment. And that's what give you control in the future for, okay, I'm here what I am with our mistake and our good things I did. So in a future time, I have control to correct my mistakes. But if you blame, like the family, you blame, circumstances, if you start blaming everything else, there's no hope for your future because you don't have control for what you did. So you don't have control for your future, right? Second is self-discipline, as we speak about it. Self-discipline, كنا بنتكلم عن social media, right? If you invest your hours every day, wake up in the morning, say, okay, I have self-discipline, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna exercise in the morning, right? 5-minute exercise, that's enough. I'm gonna read for 10-15 minutes, and I adhere to this plan. So I'm gonna every day have self-discipline. Every day I commit to the 5 minutes for sport or for exercise, 5 minutes for reading. It's a cumulative action. بعد شهر شهرين, you'll see a big difference in your life. If you work out, you're gonna have better shape. If you read a lot, you're gonna see like you have your knowledge built up quickly. Third one is continuous learning. برضه هعلق على كرمينا. العالم بيتغير بسرعة. Life is very changed quickly. Now we have AI. It's really changed the world right now. Everything changed right now with AI. If you're looking at, with personal communication, or if you look about factories, how the factory work, how people gonna lose job, some people gonna lose their job has to be changed. So always think about continuing education. If you don't improve, you're behind, or you stop where you are, and very soon you're gonna be behind. So that's just my advice, or his advice actually, third advice, continuous education. المثابرة. When you do something, don't give up quickly. Just it needs some persistent. زي soccer player, he play 8 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, whatever. You don't see them like they don't win the first game or second game quickly. They persist, right? The improvement, you're gonna see it. Like when you put seed on the ground, you don't see right away, like a big tree, right? It could be like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then you see the result before at least you see a little bit, sprout. So it takes time, but you be patient in yourself and persist what you're doing. There is a result, right? As I said, like if you work out like 10 minutes or 5 minutes per day, within like 2-3 months, you're gonna see result, right? Goal setting, very important. لما بتطلع من البيت في حد بيحط على الجي بي اس يكتب any random or ما يكتبش على الجي بي اس حاجه ويفولو الجي بي اس ولا you have to write the address where you're going, right? If you want to be a businessman like David, David انت what's your goal? If you want to share with us, what's your goal in business? I know goal. Okay, excellent. So أستاذ محب, a professional goal. What's your professional goal? Right. So your action right now, like you're aiming to where you're gonna be, right? If I'm gonna be like, for example, let's say wherever, I'm gonna go back to a soccer player, right? He have goal or she have goal, right? And every day his action serves that goal, bring him closer to that goal, right? If you want to educate as a pharmacist, right? You cannot go study engineering while you want to be pharmacist. You have a clear goal. After 4 years, I'm going to be a pharmacist. So my action to that goal. لو أنا عايز أتعلم الألحان يبقى أنا my goal إن أنا أتعلم الألحان. Every day, maybe I'm gonna just like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I listen to ألحان وهتعلم ألحان. Within like 1 year, probably I'm gonna be better than what I started. So when the goal also clear, it help you, it pull you forward to the goal, right? Definitely. So don't get distracted. Like we're talking about social media, right? If I have exam like next Monday, right? And I have all the social media and award, but I know this exam is very important and gonna change my life. It's last day, like somebody have, you know, like in law, like he has a bar or, you know, PE as professional engineer. This is exam gonna change my life. I have this goal, 100%, no matter what in social media, I think you're gonna ignore it, right? So we go, like, you know, like we wander in social media because we don't have a clear goal. And sometimes if we set that goal and very clear, that will help us a lot in our daily action, right? Oh, okay, association. هو في حد قال كلمة قال لك أنت average of the 5 people you spend the most of your time with. معناه إيه؟ يعني let's say I'm with people who really likes to watch, you know, like whatever episodes like Netflix all the time. Those are 5 people. 4 of them like watching episodes most time. 1 of them like to go on social media. Most likely you're gonna be lean to that people, the majority of the people you spend time with, right? Why? Because your environment affects your, you know, like your standard, definitely. So if I'm in people like mostly, let's say they're cursing, right? And I'm just cursing a little bit like this, comparing to them. This is my standard, right? People stealing, people cheating, people, you know, like cutting corner at work. But also on the flip side, right? If you put yourself among the people who is really, let's say your goal to become, you know, like a pharmacist or dentist, right? If I put myself, all my 5 friends or 6 friends, you know, like they're working with pharmacists, or dentists, I'm sure they're gonna affect us, you know, successful people. If I'm gonna be a businessman, right? If I associate with people who's really, you know, like daily looking at stock market, looking, you know, understand what the stock market is, understand what the interest rate is, my mindset's gonna be, you know, like by default, your mindset gonna be, you know, like lean to those people. So check yourself, who's the people you associate yourself with, and, you know, like if it need to be changed, you change it just for the sake of your, you know, like for your success. Work and ethic and actions, that's what we already covered with Abuna, actually, but it's really important. Work ethics guarantee long-term success, is not short-term success. If I'm working in job and I work with work ethics, it's like Abuna Daniel's the guy who like decide to honor God and not to cheat, and they promote him to the leader in the leadership. That's verse, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna get like, the worst case scenario, I'm gonna go put my hand in somebody's pocket and steal his money, right? This is short-term success, right? Long-term success, I have my concept and my principle, and that's what lead me, right? And when people look down to you, like look at what your action is, they trust you, and when they start trust you, you already grow up in your career. Not only in short term, it's gonna be in very long term. Last one is financial independent, right? In the United States here, the worst things ever is to owe money like in credit, right? Either two-way, right? And this affect everybody else, right? If you go in the interest side, you make a profit if you're financial, or somebody else make profit out of your financial, right? So in here, so many people make profit like out of your lost, right? Let's say I want to buy this phone today. It's the best phone ever, $2,000. I don't have the $2,000, but I have $300. I put a deposit. The rest of, like 2,700 is gonna be with interest. So I end up, when I pay this phone, I pay like 2 phone or 3 phone, right? So controlling your finance is really important for you to be a successful person. Very, very important. And on the flip side, when you invest your money, it's accumulative also. So I bring this one because it's also in our action. This is what I'm gonna end up. Our action also accumulative, right? With interest also. When we do bad action, like let's say thin, stealing, lying, cheating, it's only one time. It's accumulative. Why? Because people around us, it's both way. People around us gonna lose trust of us, and also they're gonna be attracted to the bad people. So you're already going that direction very, very quickly down. Versus when you honor God and you have integrity in your job, 2 things. First, you're gonna be rewarded from the people around you. Also, it's gonna attract people, gonna help you to grow up in your business or in your career. And this is my 8 points, actually, I'm trying to explain to you. So I hope you like it. Thank you. I made the same mistake like Carmina did. No question. Yes.
I don't think we have resources or like guidance on taxes or how to pay student debts or anything. Is there a way that you guys can like have a talk about how to do these things?
Excellent. Yep. اسمك ايه؟
ناردين.
ناردين. اوكي. على فكره ناردين قالت حاجه مهمه جدا قوي، وعلى فكره انا برضو كنت بفتكرها اول ما جيت امريكا. ما كانش في حد يقول لنا ازاي نتعامل مع الفاينانس، ازاي نتعامل مع التاكس، ازاي نتعامل الليجل، رايت؟ كل الحاجات دي مهمه جدا وكلنا محتاجينها. فهو ده اقتراح يا استاذ محب، ان احنا نبقى في مره يبقى ممكن سمول توك education. انا ممكن اعلمكم حاجات ميكانيكال انجينير. اوكي، بس احنا فعلا دي حاجه كويسه جدا. احنا في ناس برضو كنا بنتكلم معاها. يس مثلا بتشتري بيت. انا اول مره اشتريت بيت I have no idea what is loan, what's the interest rate, what is the Fed effect, like interest rate Fed your loan, right, your mortgage rate. كل الحاجات دي حلوه، ممكن نبقى نتفق ان احنا ممكن نتكلم عليها، تبقى دي ممتازه جدا و at least short like 5-10 minutes. Yep. شكرا ناردين. Thank you. مفيش اي حد عنده سؤال تاني صح؟ ولا مينا. شكرا.
يعني أنا باسمكم كلكم بشكر باشمهندس أثناسيوس على السلسلة اللي كان ماسكها معانا، وحابب بس يعني سريعا كده ألخص وأترجم اللي هو قاله. اتعدل أحسن لك. ده أنا بس اللي أنا عشان إيه يعني الشباب هيفهموا النقطة اللي أنا قصدي عليها دي، نتعدل أحسن لنا. أنا مش هطول على حضراتكم، إحنا ما عندناش حاجة نقدر نقولها أكتر من تنبيه واحد بس. الناس اللي ما طلعتش معانا الرحلة بتاعت السبت اللي فاتها كتير. والناس اللي ما طلعتش فاتها كتير، والناس اللي انا ما اتصورتش ما لحقتش اتصور معاها فاتها كتير برضو. فاتمنى ان احنا يعني ان شاء الله فيها a lot is gonna come up ان شاء الله soon. نحاول ان شاء الله يعني please try to join us. دي رقم 1. رقم 2 حابب انبه على حضراتكم على حاجه مهمه جدا على المسابقه اللي عاملينها. حد قرا حاجه او شاف حاجه او حد عنده استفسار عن حاجه في المسابقه. انا بس هريكاب بسرعه كده. المسابقه سيمبلي بتبقى تيمز، انت اللي بتبيلد اب يور تيم. يعني انا ببيلد اب ماي تيم ازاي؟ يعني انا هتكلم مع ناردين وديفيد ورامي، بقينا احنا الاربعه مع بعض. هنبقى احنا تيم واحد مننا بس اللي هيفل الفورم ويقول ان احنا الاربعه دول في التيم ده، والتيم اسمه ليتس سي مثلا سان ميري. اوكي، التيم ده خلاص بقى ريدي وبقى جاهز عندنا. هنبتدي التيم ده مطلوب منهم ان هم يساعدوا بعض، ان هم يذاكروا. هتبقى في ماتيريال، هنحاول نبروفايد الماتيريال as much as we can. هنبروفايد سوفت ماتيريال وهارد ماتيريال، وكل حاجه هتبقى موجوده مع حضراتكم. هتبقى شامله ايه؟ طيب الامتحان انا مش فاهم المسابقه دي جواها ايه. المسابقه دي جواها من شهر 6 اللي فات لحد ديسمبر كل المواضيع اللي اتكلمنا فيها، التسبيحه، كل الحاجات اللي بنتكلم فيها كل تلات. اوكي، هنيجي بعد كده نمتحن. طب نعم، لا ما احنا مش هنتنبأ، احنا اللي فات خلينا في اللي فات. التنبؤ ده لسه ان شاء الله. ان شاء الله يكون في تنبؤ يعني، بس لسه، بس خلينا في اللي فات بس، يعني نقدر على اللي فات. لا. طب هي المسابقة لسه هي المسابقة يناير الجاي 25، كل سنة وحضرتك طيب. فاحنا يناير الجاي هي 5 يناير المسابقة. لا، وانا بشرح التيمز اصلا، انا مفكر معلش انا اسف، احنا بس الناس تيمز وهيمتحنوا. اه الامتحان سريعا كده هيبقوا احنا الاربعه كده مش هنبقى مع بعض، احنا كل واحد فينا هيبقى قاعد في حته، هيبقى عباره عن اسئله مالتيبل تشويس، كل اللي انت تختار السؤال بسرعه، تختار الاجابه بسرعه. ما مش هكمل، هو 120 سؤال في ساعه عشان الناس تبقى بس فاهمه ليه. طيب 120 ومش عارف ايه، عشان ما تلحقش تجاوب، سوري، ما تلحقش تغش ولا تلحق تغشش حد. تمام، نعم يا فندم. في حد هنا بيسأل بيقول هي بالعربي بس، احنا دلوقتي بنشتغل ان هي تبقى عربي وانجلش. we're gonna do our best ان هي تبقى عربي وانجلش. تمام. حتى ايفن الماتيريال كمان هنحاول نخليها، الماتيريالز كلها اللي احنا هنحاول نجيبها هتبقى عربي وانجلش. تمام. طيب هنتحاسب ازاي بقى؟ احنا عايزين نتحاسب، خلاص جينا وامتحنا وكل حاجه، هنتحاسب ازاي؟ احنا 4. تمام. هناخد الافريج بتاع التيم. فممكن تكون مثلا ناردين مجاوبه كويس، رامي مجاوب كويس، ديفيد لسه مستني لما تيجي سنه 25 وانا ما جيتش اصلا. فاهمني؟ فهي جابت، لو هي جابت 100% وهو جاب 100 هو جاب 100%، يبقى احنا هناخد ال 20% سوري ال 200% دول ونقسمهم على 4. فاهمين؟ يعني احنا هاخد الافريج بتاع التيم. ليه بنعمل كده؟ عشان ما نجيش مثلا ديفيد يروح داخل مقفل الامتحان للناس كلها والثلاثه التانيين ما يعرفوش اي حاجه وعلى الله حكايتهم. فاحنا بس عشان الناس كلها تذاكر. طب ايه دور ديفيد؟ دور ديفيد ان هو يجي يبص لمحب، يبص لرامي، يبص لناردين، يشرح لهم اللي فاتهم. معايا ولا مش قادر اوصل لك النقطه دي؟ تمام. خلاص باذن ربنا يسوع ان شاء الله هنمتحن يوم 5 يناير. الهدايا هتتوزع علينا ان شاء الله في حفله العيد باذن ربنا يسوع، بعد اذن قدس ابونا هتوزع علينا الهدايا في يوم 14 يناير في حفله العيد ان شاء الله. الهدايا كده بقى مش في مركز اول ومركز تاني ومركز تالت. طب لما في مركز اول ومركز تاني ومركز تالت، ده مش معناه ان واحد هياخد مركز اول، لا ده 4 هياخدوا مركز اول، 4 هياخدوا مركز تاني، 4 هياخدوا مركز تالت. تمام. اتفضل يا فندم. ريفيو ايه؟ ريفيو للماتيريالز ولا ريفيو اللي انا قلته؟ اه حلو، ده دور ديفيد بقى، دور ناردين بقى. فاهمه قصدي ايه؟ ترجعي بقى للتيم بتاعك، ها خدتوا ايه الثلاثه اللي فات؟ ده الثلاثه اللي فات مثلا اتكلمنا عن ايا كان. طب لو سمحت انا فين؟ طب اعرف منين؟ اجيب منين؟ ده الدور. وفي نفس الوقت برضه مفيش مشاكل نعمل ريفيو، ليه لا؟ نعمل ريفيو يعني. فانت تأمري حضرتك. تمام. نعم يا فندم. المفروض ان احنا على العدد اللي بيجي نبقى around between 8 to 9 groups. تمام. ابتدي من دلوقتي كل فريق 4، يبقى each group is 4. خلاص حاول من دلوقتي تبتدي تجيب يعني تختار الناس، يعني فاهم قصدي ازاي؟ يعني ما تفضلش مستني لحد الاخر. المفروض في نوفمبر اي ثينك ان انا اي منشنت في البوستر، بس هكونفيرم على حضراتكم امتى. ما احنا نوفمبر بعديها خلاص مش هنقدر بعديها ان احنا نسيبها اوبن، يعني عشان الناس بس تقدر تخلص الحاجه. اوكي. ايه تاني؟ حد عنده اي سؤال تاني؟ تمام.
خلاص تمام. تفضلوا نصلي. بسم الله والابن والروح القدس الان واحد امين. ربنا الهنا مخلصنا يسوع المسيح، نشكرك يا رب على كل حال ومن اجل كل حال وفي كل حال. نشكرك يا رب لانك حاضر في وسطينا، نشكرك يا رب لان عينك علينا، ادينا قوه ومعونه وسنده من عندك. اجعل يا رب في قلوبنا الالتزام، اجعل يا رب في قلوبنا المصابره، اجعل يا رب في قلوبنا الامانه امامك. ادينا يا رب قوه. بارك على اولادك الحاضرين يا رب والغائبين معنا يا رب، علهم افتقدنا برحمتك ومحبتك لأجل خاطر دمك وجراحاتك وصليبك، ولأجل خاطر شفاعته وطلبته من العذراء الطاهرة مريم كل مساء الشهداء والقديسين والأبرار. اسمعنا يا رب حينما ندعو قائلين يا أبانا الذي في السماوات يتقدس اسمك، تكن مشيئتك كما في السماء كذلك على الأرض. خبزنا كفانا أعطينا اليوم كما نغفر نحن أيضا المذنبين إلينا، ولا تدخلنا في تجربة لكن نجينا من الشر بالمسيح يسوع كلمة. والآن محبة الله الآب نعمة ابن الواحد ربنا إلهنا مخلصنا يسوع المسيح شركة ما بضعة الروح القدس تكن مع جميعكم وتدوم فيكم. امضوا بسلام. سلام الرب يسوع المسيح يكون مع جميعكم.